9 out of 10 homeowners have never once touched the one part of their refrigerator that determines whether it lives or dies, and the fix costs $8. Today, we're covering 13 simple habits that will keep your fridge running stronger, slash your energy bill, and help you avoid repair calls that routinely run $400 to $800. Most of these take less than 5 minutes. And stick around for number 1. It costs under $15, takes about 30 seconds to set up, and it's the cheapest insurance policy your refrigerator will ever have. Let's get into it, starting with number 13. Number 13, clean your condenser coils. A homeowner in Ohio called a repair company last spring because her 12-year-old Whirlpool stopped keeping food cold. The technician pulled the fridge out, looked at the condenser coils, and found them packed with dust, pet hair, and grease. The repair bill was $385 for a problem she could have prevented with an $8 brush. Here's what's happening. Your condenser coils, those are the metal tubes on the back or underneath your refrigerator, release heat. When they're coated in dust, that heat gets trapped, and the compressor works overtime to keep things cold. Over months and years, that extra strain burns the compressor out early. The fix is simple. Buy a condenser coil brush, about $8 at any hardware store. Twice a year, unplug your fridge, pull it out, or pop off the bottom kick plate and brush off the dust. The whole job takes 10 minutes. If you have pets, do it every 3 months. This one habit alone can cut your energy bill and add years to your fridge's life. And by the way, cleaning these coils won't help much if you're making a common mistake with where your fridge is placed. That one's a real money drainer, and we'll get to it shortly, but that's just the outside of your fridge working against you. The next tip is about a setting inside that most people get wrong from day one, and it's costing them every single month. Number 12, set the right temperature. Here's something most people don't realize. The factory default temperature on many refrigerators is set colder than it needs to be. That might sound like a good thing, but it's not. When your fridge runs colder than necessary, the compressor cycles more often. Your energy bill climbs, and the motor wears out faster. It's like driving your car at red line everywhere you go. The sweet spot is 37 degrees Fahrenheit for the fridge compartment and 0 degrees for the freezer. That range keeps food safe, prevents freezing in the fridge section, and lets the compressor run at a sustainable pace. Grab an inexpensive refrigerator thermometer, they cost $3 to $5, and check your actual internal temperature. The built-in dial or digital display isn't always accurate, especially on older models. Set it, verify it, and leave it alone. A technician called to diagnose a compressor that's failing from overwork can easily cost $200 to $300. A $5 thermometer and 2 minutes of your time can prevent that entirely. Now, the next tip might surprise you. It's something most people assume is fine, but for a lot of fridges, it's quietly letting cold air escape around the clock. Number 11, check and clean your door seals. Have you ever noticed your fridge seems to be running constantly, even when nobody's opening the door? The problem might be your gasket. That's the rubber seal that runs around the edge of your door. Over time, food residue, grime, and small cracks weaken the seal. When that happens, cold air leaks out every minute of every day, and your compressor never gets a break. Here's a quick test that takes 5 seconds. Close the door on a dollar bill so it's half in, half out. If you can pull the bill out easily with no resistance, your seal is failing. Do this on all 4 sides of each door. Cleaning the gasket with warm, soapy water and a cloth is often enough to fix a weak seal. If the rubber is cracked or warped, a replacement gasket typically costs $30 to $60, and most homeowners can install it themselves. No tools required. Compared to the $150 plus a technician charges for the same job, that's a worthwhile 15 minutes of your time. Now, be honest, when was the last time you actually looked at your door seal? Most people never think about it until something goes wrong. And if you think a failing seal wastes energy, wait until you hear what the next tip costs people. It's happening inside your fridge right now, and most homeowners have no idea. Number 10, don't block the air vents inside. This one's straightforward but important. Inside your refrigerator, there are small vents, usually along the back wall or between the fridge and freezer compartments, that circulate cold air. When you push food containers, milk jugs, or bags of produce right up against those vents, you block the airflow. The result is hot spots in some areas and frost buildup in others. Your compressor senses the uneven temperature and runs non-stop trying to compensate. Food spoils faster in the warm zones, your energy bill goes up, and the compressor wears down. A compressor struggling against blocked vents can use 15 to 20% more energy. That adds up to real money over a year. The fix costs nothing. Just keep items an inch inch or two away from those vents. When you load groceries, take 5 seconds to make sure nothing is pressed against the back wall or covering the vent openings. That small habit helps your fridge cool evenly, reduces compressor strain, and means fewer spoiled leftovers. Still with me? Good, because the tips only get more important from here. Speaking of how you load your fridge, the next tip is about how full you keep it, and the answer isn't what most people think. Number 9, keep it reasonably full. A retired couple in Michigan downsized to a smaller home but kept their full-size refrigerator. With just 2 people, the fridge was practically empty most of the time. Within a year, they noticed the compressor seemed to run more than it used to, and their energy bill crept up. Here's why. A well-stocked fridge holds its temperature better because the mass of cold food and beverages acts like a thermal battery. Every time you open the door, warm air rushes in. If the fridge is full, those cold items absorb that warm air and help the temperature recover quickly. If it's mostly empty, the compressor has to do all the work alone. You don't need to stuff it to the brim. That actually creates the airflow problem we just talked about. But keeping it about 3/4 full is the sweet spot. If your fridge is often empty, a simple trick is to fill a few bottles with water and leave them inside. They'll hold the cold for you. The next tip takes 2 minutes and can cut your energy bill by up to 5%, but almost nobody thinks to do it. Number 8, leave space. Through the needs to release that heat through the condenser coils and compressor housing. When the fridge is jammed tight against the wall or crammed between cabinets with no breathing room, that heat has nowhere to go. The compressor runs hotter and longer, wearing itself out faster. If you're finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. The general rule is to leave about 2 to 3 inches of clearance on each side and at least 1 inch behind the fridge. If your fridge is built into cabinetry, make sure the ventilation slots aren't blocked. This simple gap allows heat to dissipate naturally, which can lower your energy usage and reduce wear on the compressor over time. A compressor replacement runs $400 to $600 on most models, giving your fridge a few inches of breathing. Room is a free way to push that repair further down the road. But even with proper airflow around your fridge, there's something many homeowners do almost every evening that forces the compressor into overdrive. That's next. Number 7, let hot food cool before storing. Here's a fact that surprises a lot of people. Putting a hot pot of soup or a warm casserole straight into the refrigerator forces the internal temperature to spike. Your compressor immediately kicks into high gear to bring the temperature back down, and depending on how hot the food is, that recovery cycle can take an hour or more. Do this regularly, and you're adding unnecessary wear to the compressor every single week. It's like forcing your car engine to sprint from cold every morning. The fix is simple. Let hot food sit on the counter for 20 to 30 minutes before you put it in the fridge. You don't need to wait until it's room temperature, just until it stopped steaming. If food safety is a concern, the general guideline is that perishable food should be refrigerated within 2 hours of cooking. That gives you plenty of time to let it cool down. This costs nothing and takes 0 effort. It just takes a little patience. And combine this with what's coming up at number 5, and you're taking serious pressure off your compressor every single day. We're over halfway through now, and honestly, the best tips are still ahead. If this next one sounds minor, trust me, ignoring it leads to some expensive problems. Number 6, replace your water filter on schedule. Have you noticed your ice maker getting slower or your water dispenser losing pressure? Before you call a repair technician, check your water filter. Most refrigerator water filters should be replaced every 6 months, but a lot of homeowners go years without changing them. A clogged filter doesn't just let contaminants through, it restricts water flow. That restricted flow puts extra strain on the water inlet valve and ice maker components, and over time, that strain leads to failures. An ice maker repair can run $200 to $350, depending on your model. A replacement water filter, usually $20 to $40. Set a reminder on your calendar for every 6 months and swap it out. The job takes about 60 seconds on most models. You just twist the old one out and push the new one in. Cheap, easy, and it protects some of the most failure-prone parts inside your fridge. And here's the part nobody talks about. That water filter isn't the only thing in your fridge that's easy to forget and expensive to ignore. The next tip is a 2-minute fix that most people never even consider, but skipping it can shorten your fridge's life by years. Number 5, level your fridge. This one's simple but critical. If your refrigerator isn't perfectly level, the doors may not close completely. Even if they look shut, that tiny gap, sometimes barely visible, is enough to let cold air seep out around the clock. Your compressor runs extra. Cycles to compensate, your energy bill goes up, and the wear adds up year after year. It's like leaving a window cracked open in winter and wondering why the furnace never stops. Here's what you do. Place a basic bubble level, a couple of dollars at any hardware store, on top of the fridge, front to back and side to side. If it's off, Adjust the leveling legs at the front by turning them with a wrench or by hand. Most models have 2 adjustable feet right up front. The whole process takes 2 minutes. No repair call needed. No parts to buy. Just a quick check that ensures your doors seal properly and your compressor doesn't work harder than it should. A family in Oregon spent $180 on a service call because their fridge was pooling water inside. The technician adjusted the leveling legs and left. 2 minutes, $180. Don't be that family. Next up is a fix so easy, you'll wish someone had told you about it 10 years ago. Number 4, clean the drain hole. At the back of your refrigerator compartment, near the bottom, there's a small drain hole. Most people have never noticed it. Its job is to channel condensation out of the fridge and into a drip tray underneath. Over time, food particles, mineral deposits, and grime clog that hole. When it's blocked, water pools at the bottom of your fridge, freezes into a sheet of ice, and creates a smell that most people blame on old food. A service call to diagnose and fix a clogged drain runs $100 to $200. The actual fix? Push a pipe cleaner or a thin piece of flexible wire through the hole to clear the clog. Follow up with a little warm water to flush it. 5 minutes, no cost, no technician. Check it once or twice a year, and you'll avoid the pooled water, the mystery ice, and the unnecessary repair call. If you've made it this far, you already know more about refrigerator care than most repair technicians would ever volunteer. And the next tip is one of the most overlooked. It has nothing to do with the fridge itself, but it can shorten its life dramatically. Number 3, keep your fridge away from heat sources. Most people think about what goes inside their refrigerator. Very few think about what's next to it. If your fridge is placed beside the oven, next to the dishwasher, or in a spot that gets direct afternoon sunlight, it's fighting external heat on top of doing its normal cooling job. Even a few degrees of extra ambient temperature around the fridge forces the compressor to work harder, run longer, and use more energy. Over years, this adds up to real wear. In some kitchens, moving the fridge isn't practical, but if you can relocate it even a foot or two away from a heat source, or hang a simple shade to block direct sunlight from a window, you'll reduce the strain. The Department of Energy estimates that ambient heat around a refrigerator can increase its energy use by 10 to 25% depending on conditions. That's money straight out of your pocket, month after month, for the entire life of the appliance. But there's one problem that can sneak up even on well-placed, well-maintained fridges. And catching it early can save you $300 to $400. That's next. Number 2, defrost before ice builds up. Here's something a lot of people don't know. Even in so-called frost-free refrigerators, ice can slowly accumulate around the evaporator fan. That's the fan behind a panel inside the freezer compartment. When this happens, it chokes off airflow, and the compressor runs non-stop trying to keep up. You might hear the fridge getting louder, or notice the freezer isn't as cold as it used to be. If you catch it early, you can manually defrost by unplugging the fridge for 24 hours with the doors open and towels laid down to catch the melt. It's inconvenient but free. If you let it go too long, the fan motor can burn out and you're looking at a $300 to $400 repair call. The warning signs are easy to spot: excessive frost in the freezer, the fridge, running louder than usual, or temperatures that won't hold steady even though the settings haven't changed. Once a year, take a look behind that back panel in the freezer. If you see heavy ice around the fan, it's time for a manual defrost before it becomes a much bigger problem. And that brings us to number 1, the single easiest, cheapest thing you can do to protect your refrigerator, and almost nobody does it. Number 1, use a surge protector. Last summer, a homeowner in Texas lost a 3-year-old Samsung refrigerator to a power surge during a thunderstorm. The surge fried the main control board and damaged the compressor. The repair estimate was over $900, more than half the cost of a new fridge. He replaced it. That's a $2,000 lesson for something a $15 surge protector could have prevented. Here's what most people don't realize. Your refrigerator has sensitive electronic components, circuit boards, sensors, digital displays that are vulnerable to voltage spikes. A single surge from a lightning strike, a power grid fluctuation, or even your air conditioner cycling on can damage those components instantly. And homeowners insurance often doesn't cover power surge damage unless you can prove a specific event like a lightning strike. The fix couldn't be easier. Plug your refrigerator into a basic surge protector, not a cheap power strip, but one rated rated for appliances with Joule protection of at least 1,000 or higher. They cost $10 to $25 and last for years. 30 seconds to set up, that's it. It's the cheapest insurance your refrigerator will ever have. And it protects against the one thing no amount of cleaning, leveling, or temperature adjusting can prevent: isab, a random electrical event that turns a working fridge into a paperweight. Those are 13 simple habits that will keep your refrigerator running for years to come. Now, there's a video on your screen right now that covers the biggest mistakes homeowners make with their TV, and some of them will cost you thousands. Click it now. I'll see you there.